Everyone, hi. Bruce Muffson, LCSW, coming at you with another live stream from SUNRIDGE of Nevada. Before we begin tonight's live stream, talk a little bit about myself. First of all, I received my master's in social work from the University of Georgia over 25 years ago. And after I received my master's, I had to do 2 years postmasters and then take a national exam to become a licensed clinical social worker. I work with people from the ages of 3 to 83. And I've worked inpatient, outpatient, emergency room. I've gone to prisons, gone to hospitals, and I have gone to people's homes. I've done thousands of assessments where I've worked with all kinds of people with all kinds of mental health issues. And I've also gone to people's homes to just to work with them, literally hundreds of times. In addition, I've gone to court hundreds of times to testify on people's mental health status and what is the best option for them. And in addition, I have done dozens of trainings, primarily to law enforcement, on how to work better with the mentally ill. And finally, every 2 years, I have to take roughly 40 years of what's called continuing education credits so that I can maintain my license. Now, tonight's topic is going to be by, I'm assuming, a young woman. Her name is Danielle, and her last name is Dinap, D-I-N-E-P, and she wrote this comment for Kiora. And what I liked about it, what kind of caught my eye, was she said she's a abuse survivor on multiple levels. I thought it was kind of interesting how she said it, and I thought it was very interesting. And she had her own perspective, said about 10, 12 things on how to relate as she got older to understand her mental health issues. And what did she want people to learn from that, what she's experienced? Now, before I begin, I want to talk about next week. That will be, today is the 23rd, so it will be the 30th of next week. And at 5:30 West time, we will be doing, it's probably going to be a three-parter, is our live training on what goes on when you do an assessment, what takes place, what happens, and how do I do an assessment when I work with people. We're getting increasingly each week, people are sending in comments, emails, basically text messages. Hey, can you please be my therapist? I really like what you do on the live streams, on the music breakdowns. Can I please speak to the doctor? Not a doctor, just a master's. But can you please work with me and help me? And what I'm telling everybody is this: I no longer do individual counseling. What I'm doing now is the live streams like tonight, where you can type in a question, get an answer back right away. And we're also doing these trainings once a month at the end of the month. The way the month is now shaping is this. Beginning of the month, we do our music videos. We take comments from you guys and we just pick different, groups, individuals, and we break down their music. That hasn't changed in 5 years. We then offer live streams for the middle of the month, and at the end of every month, it's going to be a training. The reason why we're doing this training on understanding what goes in a mental health assessment, all the particulars, what my style is, how I make it flow, how I get information out of people, is that I realize so many people are confused. Hey, what goes on in a room when you do an assessment? And there's a whole skill pattern behind it, and there's a whole way of understanding how to work with a person on their level. Now, tonight, we're going to give away 5 to 5 different people who give us the best comments to be able to get the code to come to the training next week. It'll be, what we'll do is we'll send you an email. It's in our description box, and you'll get all the information that you need. And we will send to you 5 people that give us the best comments tonight. So start firing away. We're ready for it. Of course, those that want to pay for the training, it's only $10, and we do crypto. So don't worry about that either. And this is the direction that we're going in, but we're kind of reaching the point where I want our fans, and bless you, all of you, we're at the point now to start explaining how we can help you via the therapy that I provide, the counseling that I provide, the insight that I provide, and to give you a chance to really begin to work on yourself, to feel better about who you are. And as we've said before, even if you come from a dysfunctional background, who cares? You don't have to live the rest of your life with dysfunctional thinking. You can grow, you can be healthy, and you can move on to be productive. So that's what I wanted to share for next week. Again, it's going to be probably part 1 of 3, but it's going to talk exactly what goes into an assessment. What kind of questions do I ask? What am I looking for? What am I trying to get insight on? And I want people to sign up for the training. It's only $10 again, and we take crypto. Okay, here we go. And again, the 5 best people with the 5 best comments tonight, we will give you the code so you can line up and sign up for the training next week. So fire away, ask questions. Okay. Again, I want to give Danielle Denap, her due. Again, it comes from an online site called Quora, Quora. And what made me interested in her was that she had the comment of, I'm an abuse survivor on multiple levels. All right, here we go. Here's what she's learned. And I thought it was just interesting again. She said, people are self-centered, including people who think they are selfless. A selfless person is truly unique and rare. Very, very true. I like that line. Including people who think they are selfless. People are self-centered, meaning they're thinking about themselves even when they're helping you, because they're doing something to get something out of it for themselves. They're looking for some kind of payoff, some kind of like feel good where I like myself. But she said, even people that you think are selfless, they're not. They're self-centered. A person who doesn't think like that, a selfless person, is truly unique and rare. Be aware of that. What is people's motives if they're going to help you? What are they looking to get out of the situation? And this is a person, as she described herself, is, I'm an abuse survivor on multiple levels. She's been through the ropes. She's been through the wars. So she's realized that people that are saying things to you like, I want to help you, you deserve help, I'm really sad for you, oh, it's so sad, you should live like that. What are they getting out of it? Because people who are truly selfless is truly unique and rare. Okay, next one. Most people don't really care about your happiness. They care about their happiness. And if your happiness fits into their picture, then all is well. That's very true. Most people don't really care about your happiness. They really don't care. Everyone thinks like, I'm so lucky. This person's taking me under their wing. This person wants me to be their protege. They want me to learn from them. They said I can grow with them. But they're really concerned about their happiness, not necessarily yours. If you happen to fit into their picture, then all is well. And if it doesn't, too bad, so sad. It's interesting about work. Understand this about when you go to a job, all right? You may have 1, maybe 2 people that when you leave work, you're going to stay in contact with. But quite frankly, everyone else you're going to meet, you don't really know them. You say hello to them. You might go out to lunch with them. You might sit next to them at a staff meeting or at a training, or you might donate $10 to the Christmas potluck dinner, and give them a little dopey gift, and they give you a dopey gift for Christmas. You don't know them. You really don't know these people. It's skin deep. It really is. It's interesting because I had one of my kids is going into the military. He's at a military college, and he has a cousin who's in the military, full, National Guard. And he said to me about my son is he doesn't need to worry about his background, what his father did, what his grandfather did, if they were in the service. He said, who cares? He said, in the military, every year and a half, you're being posted elsewhere, and you meet hundreds of new people. And after every deployment or every assignment that you go to, you might have 1 or 2 people you stay in touch with. That's actually very true. My agent / producer, he had worked at a company. And I was one of the therapists there. Of all the people that were there, and they probably went through 50 to 7,500 people, I only speak to him, well, obviously, and one other person. I don't speak to anybody else. What happened? I saw all these people. Hey, how you doing, Bruce? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how's everything? You know what? It was superficial. It was literally skin deep. There was no real great, relationship like I wanted to think there was. And I might have spoken to one person for a couple of months, one person for a year or so. Then the phone call stopped and the text messages stopped because we didn't really have anything in common anymore. Life moved on. So understand that how she's saying that. If you fit into their mode of happiness, great. But if you don't, well, you know what? Maybe you're not so popular anymore. Maybe you don't fit into what they're looking for. So be aware of that. In a sense, you know what? Find your own happiness. Because that's something I tell my people all the time. When they ask me questions, they say, hey, Bruce, about this friendship, that friendship. I say, don't rely on work. Find your own happiness. Find your own boyfriend, your own girlfriend, your own wife and husband, your own children, your own pets, your own hobby, your own second job, and make it work for you. Don't always rely on the office is going to provide everything for you. It's not realistic. And, TV is very good at that you see people on TV and you think a lot of times hey, they're close. They're like a family. Very, very few shows ever have that kind of relationship. Most of the time, when these shows end, if they even last that long, it's I worked with her for a year, worked with him for 2 years. Didn't really know the guy, didn't really spend time with her. It's over, it's done. That's how you got to think. He wrote 19 books on mental illness. He co-founded this discipline known as orthomolecular therapy. You cannot cure melancholy with a sermon. Yeah, very good. Thank you. And that's the point. You got to understand these things and how to relate to, looking at situations on a different level. Now, next thing she said, this is a biggie. Most people will not be there for you when you are down and out, regardless of what you have done for them. Very true. Very true. Most people will not be there for you regardless of what you've done for them. They won't be. And that's why I do a thing. I talk about this a lot in counseling. I use the expression therapy bank, where I try and do more favors for people than they do for me. Because I want them, hopefully, if I need them, to get something back from them. But I've learned never to get big on you owe me, because most people are not going to be there for you when you need them. It's just the way it is. And you'll see that when you're down and out, when you really, really need, and that includes family too. I mean, I'm not even confused anymore about family and the limits of family. Eddie Murphy, the comedian, had a great line many years ago, and he was really, really doing stand-up. He said, family's like luggage, you just can't get rid of it. It's like a set of luggage. No matter what you do, it's still in your closet, and you still use that set of luggage, for year after year after year. So she had a great point. Will not be there for you when you are down and out, regardless of what you have done for them. They forget about you. Irrelevant. Hey, man, sorry, moved on. Yeah. Used to be my brother, not anymore. Yeah. I'm at work, so can't stick around, but love you, Bruce. Stay at it, man. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. And that's a story. So just be aware of that. Really understand relationships, that there are people that are going to be there for you, and there are people that are not going to be there for you. And most of the time, they will not be there for you. You got to learn to be self-sufficient. You got to learn to handle strife and adversity, and you got to learn how to move forward. And I tell this to everybody that I work with on a clinical level: expect nothing from other people around you, and you're going to have to do it yourself. You're going to have to go back to school. You're going to have to figure out a way to save money. You're going to have to get a second job. You're going to have to improve where you live. You're going to have to improve how you look at relationships. Yeah, you. And other people, rarely are they going to be there for you. I've been blessed because the few friends that I've had my whole life, some of them 40, 50 years, have stuck with me through good times and mostly bad times. Because good times are easy. Anyone could hang out when things are going well. But when things go south, watch how people flee the coop. They're not there. They're not there for you. So you've got to look at yourself and say, who can I really rely on in the crunch, in the pinch? It's the same thing in athletics and same thing in sports. Yeah, there's a reason why I'm paying you this kind of money to be the number 4 hitter. Or I'm paying you because you're the best player on the basketball court. What do you bring to the table? And, that's it. That it really is what it comes down to. So I like what she said about that. And again, guys, feel free. The floor is open. Ask any question you want. Right now, time is going by. Ask any questions about these topics. Is it making sense to you? Is there things that you deal with? This was a person that went through abuse on many levels, she said. And I'm assuming it's probably sexual, emotional, physical, and mental. And she learned things in her life that she wanted to share. And I thought it was valuable to share this stuff with you guys, leading into next week and understanding what goes into having an assessment. So take a chance and ask these questions now and how this stuff relates to you. Is this something that you deal with in your life? Have you dealt with this in your life? Have you had this happen in your life? Feel free to ask. Now's the time to ask questions. Okay. This is a biggie. Look around you. If you have 1 or 2 true friends, you are an exceptionally lucky person. Everyone else are acquaintances. So true. And I've said that repeatedly because that's actually brought down from a Jewish group of textbooks called the Talmud, where I've told the story before. Young guy says to his father, I got dozens of friends, tight, we're close, we're a gang, we're really close together. And the father said, you live in a fantasy. So if you have 1 great friend, you are blessed beyond belief. And if you have 2 great friends, you're richer than the richest king. And he says, dozens of friends, all close. He said, you know what? I'm talking to the wall. Take a garbage bag, fill it with newspapers, and go around rags. Go around to all your friends, so-called friends, and say you got a body in there. You need help disposing it. Sure, what could happen? Knockety knock, knockety knock. What do you got there? What's going on? I got a body. You got to help me hide. I need your help. And everyone's like, get out of here, loser. Get lost. I'll call the police. You don't know me. Never saw you. And finally, one guy goes like this, left and to the right, and says, come on in. Went back to his father and said, I'm an idiot. I learned something today. You were right. Having a real friend, having 2 real friends, you're blessed. And I say this all the time. If you look at your crew, everyone that you know in your life, how many real friends do you really have? And I've done this in groups when I've asked this question. And generally what I get, 2, maybe 3, once in a while 4. And these are young kids sometimes. I'll do this to 10-year-olds. And even they understand, like, what is a friend? What is an acquaintance? They even pick up because you think they know, he's my friend, she's my friend, he's my friend. They realize it's artificial. It's skin deep. A real friend is as rare as gold dust. All right, we got a comment here. I sometimes hang out with my grandfather who has dementia. I always walk away self-conscious about my own framework and axioms than being reflected towards me. Don't let it bother you. Seriously. I had that with my own father, where he was becoming senile / dementia, I guess you could say. And I'll give you an example for me. And I want to know if this relates to you, Adonis. I went with him once to some place, and so I think we went out to eat and got out of the car, and everyone he saw, he cursed at. And he didn't just curse. I mean, he cursed, F-bombs flying through the air and just screaming at people. And some people got offended, understandably, and came and said, hey, what's wrong with this guy? What's your problem, man? I said, it's my father, and he's ill. And white, black, brown, yellow said, hey, man, I get it. Okay. I got a father like that. I got an uncle like that. I got a mother like that. And in the restaurant, I stupidly told my father something important, which I shouldn't have said anything. And how'd he take it? Of course, badly. He began to scream and yell. Now, thank God it was breakfast time. The place wasn't really busy and it wasn't really full. But he began to scream and yell. And of course it was embarrassing. And the owner actually, who I recognized from years ago, came over and said, what's going on? Is everything okay? And I remember my sister said, it's my father and he's not well. And the guy went like this. I get it. I have a father like that. Okay, just enjoy your meal. Just try and keep it down. It's not you. It's a situation. And I'd say this a lot in counseling, you can't personalize it. You can't personalize when someone is not capable anymore. And you think sometimes, is that me? Is that reflected on me? It's not reflected on you. It's a situation that you have a father or another adult that's not stable. That's not clear. Let me know if this answers your question. Another time I was driving my dad somewhere, a few times, and what happened in the car? He made me honk in Brooklyn every time he saw a police officer, fireman, construction worker. This is Brooklyn, man. Every block, you got one of the three. Something's always happening in Brooklyn. We're like an EMT driver. There's always something going on in Brooklyn. And he'd make me honk the horn repeatedly till the person would like hear the horn like 30 times and like look around like, what idiot is honking the horn? And I could see the look on their faces. What am I going to do? And my dad would do this. I don't know why. What do I know? But this is his way of like having a relationship with strangers. And I would keep on driving and that's it. What am I going to do? I can't personalize what just happened because the person's not capable. Go with my dad to synagogue. Something inane would happen, something unimportant. There'd be a screaming match. It'd be a yelling match, screaming. I'm like, what are we coming to synagogue for? To scream, to yell? Makes no sense. But you know what? I've had people tell me I had this situation with their fathers in the church, in a mosque, in a shrine. It happens everywhere. People are not stable. Don't personalize. Harris, I remember this guy. Hey, Bruce, off-topic question. I'm a college student who doesn't know what he wants to do. How do I stop worrying so much about the future? Really simple. Don't. You're not supposed to know about the future. What you need to do is go to a counselor and say, I need help with some ideas. Give me some ideas. And right now that you're in college, you are so lucky. Take classes you're not even sure about. Give it a shot. This is the greatest time in your life right now. Try everything. You thought about taking a pottery class? You never thought, take a pottery class. You want to learn Hebrew? Go take a Hebrew class. You ever thought about archaeology? Take an archaeology class. You want to learn about the history of West Africa? Take a class on West Africa. Now's the time to do it. Open yourself up. College has about 3,000 things you can join, like organizations. Join one or two. Meet different people that are different than you. Different opinions, different perspectives, different backgrounds, different skin colors. Get to know people. Open yourself up and take chances. Don't worry about it. If you're a second quarter senior, you got a problem. But if you haven't finished school yet, take as many chances as you can. Take as many tests to see what you could qualify for. Ask your college placement office to give you as many interviews as you can with different careers and different companies. Use the time to learn about yourself and learn about the world around you. Good luck. Let us know what happens. Okay. Adonis. Okay, good. Follow-up question. It was tough the other day. He is stuck in an old family grudge that he has held onto in his old age. But in my own life, I have my own issues with my family members. Often I feel like I might be as out of touch as he is. No, you're not. I'll tell you why, because you're aware of it. See, if you're aware of it, you're not out of touch. You're in touch. You know what? Honestly, as my father, man, the guy would have battles with grudges with people from like decades ago. I'm like, what are you angry about? What are you angry about? But I realized that's all he had to hold on to was ancient history, because he never went forward in his life. See, that's when you're around people that like, live in the past, live in the past, live in the past. That's the problem. When people say things like, back in my day, gas was 57 cents a gallon. Okay, yeah, that was like 50 years ago. There's a thing called inflation. Things have changed. Gas is more money, but what are you going to do? You don't want to pay 57 cents. You'll pay 63 and that's it. You're not going to get gas. If you want to use a bike the rest of your life, like just drive around on a bike, that doesn't make any sense though. Where people will say things like, I could have been a multimillionaire. I could have bought property when it was really, really cheap by the ocean in Manhattan and in Brooklyn and blah, blah, blah. I could have been a multimillionaire. Okay, question is, why didn't you buy the property? I didn't have any money. Okay, so the conversation is kind of dumb. Like, what are you living in the past for? It's crazy to me. But people do that with their own family. Oh, my brother did this. My sister did this. The fact that you're aware of it makes you realize you don't want to be like that. I've learned I've had to let stuff go that would have killed me. I mean, I could be enraged all day long, and I have some valid reasons to be that way. My ageless life producer is nodding his head because he knows my background. If anyone wants to freak out and go nuts and go psycho, legitimately, it's me. I've had some horrible, horrible things happen to me in my life. And I still had to go to work like the next couple of days. Smile, have a boss, because I needed the job. I couldn't just stay home and like just stay in a depressed mode for 6-7 years. Okay, I'm feeling better now. Life passes you by. So yeah. So what I'm saying to you is the fact that you're aware of it, that you're grappling with it, shows me you're in the right path. Let go of what you can't control. And if you can't control it, then let it go and move on to what you can control. I've had to pivot and like change my dance steps and have new moves all the time. And sometimes I'm kind of like amazed at myself having to pivot and do this and do this and this, try this, do this and learn this system, go there. I have no choice. I have to keep on moving, because if I stop, like a fish, they die. They have to have that movement in the current to keep the gills going. But you gotta go forward. You cannot live in the past, because all that's going to do is eat you up. I hope that helps you out, because you're not out of touch. You're not. You're seeing things for what they are, and he never will, because he's living in the past. You know why people like to live in the past? It's safe. It's safe. Living in the present, thinking about the future. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't want to do that. That's scary. If I would have stayed in the past and like, coulda, woulda, shoulda, I wouldn't be doing this live stream tonight, because I said I want to do something different. And thank God I ran into somebody after like my 500th try that got me and understood where I was coming from. That was on the same link as me, same level. And I'm so grateful for that. Every time I do one of these videos, whether it's a music, live, or training, I get up for it, because I'm doing what I really want to do. What I've always wanted to do, which is not do 1-to-1, but do 1 to 10,000. And this is living proof of this. So I'm hoping this gives you a perspective and understanding yourself, and people that like still go on with the stuff like from the past 30, 40 years ago, man, life passed them by and they're stuck and they can't get out of reverse. They're just locked in. Had to hear this. Hey, thank you. Any questions, comments on what I just said? Fire them in. This tonight is I really like with this young, I'm assuming young woman, maybe she's middle-aged, whatever, but a survivor of, what did she say? On multiple levels, abuse survivor on multiple levels. I liked what she said, and I want people to comment. What I just said, does that make sense to you? Do you have that issue in your own life? Have you had any of like 1, 2, 3, or 4? Have you been through that? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And tonight, fire them in, fire them in, fire them in. We want to give away 5. So we want to hear what you have to say. And I always tell people, hey, you know what? You want to get into the pool? I don't care if you got to do a belly flop. I don't care if you're going to do a cannonball. You just dive in any way you feel comfortable. You want to slip in quietly, make a big splash? No biggie. But ask any question you want tonight about this topic. Here we go on to the next one. Okay. Do not tell everyone your intimate business, especially good or bad things happening in your life. Because most of the time, and I can explain, it was actually interesting. If you ever watch the movie with Al Pacino, where Tony Montana, and there's a scene there where he says something like people talk to him, Scarface, and he goes, and 70% of the time people are happy you're having a bad luck. And they don't really care about your good stories anyway. They hope that you fail and just mess up and screw up. There's a great comment from him in the movie. So there's an expression in Italian, cry poverty with a loaf of bread under your arm. Oh, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? If you're making bank, if things are going well, things are going good at home, good relationships, kids aren't driving you nuts, they're actually doing the right thing, family's being stable, work is good, just say, yeah, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. And if things are really, really bad, keep your thoughts to yourself. You don't have to share with everybody how things are going. And I'm learning as I'm getting older, I'm 58, shut up, Bruce, shut up, shut up, shut up. When this show hits, and God willing, we get the rumination that we feel that we deserve and everything like that, my agent and I, like this, keep it quiet. We're going to keep it quiet. It's going to go 50-50, but we're going to keep it quiet because I'm not going to shout it out. I'm not going to come to his house the following week with a brand new Mercedes. What's going on, Bruce, man? You're right. Because I'm going to keep my mouth shut. You don't have to share everything with everybody. Few friends, yes. The rest of the people, keep your thoughts to yourself. People have a tendency, unfortunately, with social media, to share way too much. Way too much. How many girls do I have that I worked with that sent out pictures of themselves half naked or fully nude? And it destroyed them. Not worth it. Got a comment here. Dino, thoughts on Shekhinah, Bruce? Yeah, good. It's a good comment. What do you particularly want to hear about that? But thank you, Dino. What do you want to particularly hear about that comment? I'll break it down what I know. But understand yourself and that you don't, social media, like I got to share. Why do you have to share everything about yourself and open yourself up? Just anything that can be said. It's important. I know what he's referring to, Dino. And I'm sorry, Dino. I'm sorry. And the Shekhinah is understanding it from a religious perspective and understanding, what is important, what is irrelevant. And keeping your thoughts to yourself a lot of times is the best way to go. Understand that. You keep it to yourself. You don't have to share. And again, people, fire away with the comments. Now, here's another thing. You are a lot more desirable when you have something to offer. Bingo. Bingo. No one wants to be around an angry person, a jerky person, a vicious person, a vindictive person. What do you have to offer? So, I joke about this with my agent / producer. If I'm having the worst day possible, and I've had days like that, I still show up. He knows exactly what time I'm going to be getting here. I'm dressed now. I know what kind of clothes to wear. and I take off my shoes, ready to rock. I got my paperwork out in front of me. Bam, 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 bam. Because the show must go on. What do I have to offer? Now, here's the next thing, too. I have to maintain my license. It does say LCSW. If I didn't maintain my license, they would say, well, I'm no longer a licensed clinical social worker. We lose juice. We lose perspective. We lose people. Like what's the matter? Why couldn't he keep his degree? When you have something to offer. Do you think, okay, Dino, again, do you think that also has therapeutic inferences like the absence of someone can also be seen in their presence? Yeah, absolutely. The absence of someone can also be seen in their presence, because I'll give you an example. If you have someone that you look up to, that you admire, you don't have to have them around, but you can see them in front of you and you say, I'm going to follow through with this person because this person taught me the right way. You know, I've had people say to me from counseling when they're in situations at home, street, whatever, what would Bruce say to me to do? What would Bruce tell me to do? How would Bruce handle a situation? What would Bruce say? And let me say something about myself and my skills, okay? I hear a lot of speeches in the course of my week. And I'll tell you this, if you don't hear a speech from somebody that doesn't make you want to change your life or change your thinking or just change your attitude or change your day-to-day, that person didn't do anything speaking. When I talk, I give blood because I want people to leave every live stream, every training, every music breakdown to say, man, this guy blew my mind open and made me think about things in a completely different way. And if I don't do that, then I leave here, man, I'm depressed because I didn't bring it. I didn't bring my A game. So you talk about like the presence. Yeah, it's the presence of, if I don't deliver, if I'm not where I need to be, then I failed. And I failed my agent, / producer. I failed you, the audience, and I failed myself. And I can make all the excuses in the world. Tired, I work a lot of jobs, I work a lot of hours, my day's stressful. You know what? That's an excuse. And that's the present. That's understanding what's in front of you. Because people depend on me to bring it. And you know what? If you can't handle it, sit on the sidelines, don't get into the game, get the water, get the Gatorade. That's your job. Do you think that's also has therapeutic inferences like the absence of someone can also be seen in the presence? Yeah, 100%. I think about the people that impressed me, that I stole from, that I liked what they did. And I think about the people that gave me nothing. And I'll be honest with you, the people that gave me nothing, that just gave me stupidity, that gave me idiocy, that gave me moronic thinking, do I think about them? Zero. I think about the people in my life that are hard chargers, that are working hard, that are trying to do more. Those are the people that I think about. That's the presence. Like I'm thinking in the background of all the people that encouraged me, that told me to do more, that told me to make more of myself. Those are the people I think about. And all the fools that said, don't do this, play it safe, don't try, they're like ghosts. They don't exist. And that's how I want you to think about things when you're looking at people around you that say to you, you know, you can't do it. And we're saying again, 5 best comments when access to the training next week. So fire away. We're seeing individual people stepping up, but I want to see more questions pop in. The more questions pop in, the more animated I become, the better you get from me and the better you get for yourself. These live streams are like gold. These trainings are like gold. Ask questions. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid. If anything I've learned in my life, I'm telling you guys this, don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to take chances. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to gain more knowledge. Now's the time. Okay, ask. I know there are people, hundreds of people watching this. I know people are like, oh, well, if I ask a question, I'm going to be a fool. No, not at all. Take the opportunity to grasp it. This is your chance. 5 best comments will get the 5 clicks to let the live training next week. And of course, if you want to pay for it, we're not going to say no. And if you want to pay for it in crypto, not a problem. But next week is going to be bang, bang. Probably going to be a 3-parter. Is understand what happens in a mental health assessment. Everyone's gone to therapy. I've learned that much. But a lot of people have gone to really bad therapy, really bad assessments. And I want you to learn what to look for when people talk to you and you sit there and you say, man, this guy gave me some gold to work with. He gave me some perspective. I'm going to ask this person, do you do this? Do you do that? That's why I got to watch Bruce on the trainings. That's why I got to come to the live streams. Okay. Do therapists tend to work with or around religious beliefs? I can only tell you how I do it. I incorporate it. All religions. Because I've learned if you have some kind of religious, perspective, something that holds you together, it's actually can be, in a lot of cases, a very good thing. Because I've learned that the vast majority of people that do come to therapy will say, I have no connection to religion whatsoever. None. Particularly people that have been abused, been homeless, been in jail, have had rough lives, sexual abuse, physical, mental, clinical, bounced around a lot, dysfunctional families will generally say that they're not active at all in religion. And in fact, religion around the world is actually, particularly in America, religious observance is actually declining every year. More and more young people will state, I get nothing out of religion. I don't find it helpful at all. And they're not vested. So as far as I'm concerned, if whatever religion you are, Hebrew, Christian, Muslim, it's all the same to me. If it gives you faith, Buddhist, there's millions of them, Wiccan, I don't care. But if it gives you strength and solace, I'm going to incorporate it. I never take that away. I never, people say, well, religion has no place in therapy. Absolutely not. If it's important to you, then it's important to me. That's how I look at it. Okay. Do therapists tend? Okay. Any comments? Ask. Because in a way, this is a person coming from someone that could be someone like yourself that has been through the wars, been through the ringer, and now has something valuable to say and something valuable to share. Okay. You are a lot more desirable when you have something to offer. Why do we push education? You're finishing high school. You finish your associates. You finish college. You get a master's. Guess what? You go into the military. You learn a specialty. You go to trade school. You do an HVAC. You become a licensed plumber. You get a CDL license. Letters after your name equals power. You take classes in computer science. You get a degree in computers. Get paper. Get letters after your name when you have something to offer. And what does it also mean, something to offer, is know what you're talking about. So when you say something to somebody, they're going to say, wow, that makes sense. I want to buy this product, this person. They made a lot of sense how they broke down the need for new carpeting or a new mattress. I don't care. You could be in sales. These are all fine careers. But you got to have something to offer the other person for them to take you seriously. Going to keep asking questions like your stream, Mr. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead. How do you deal with compassion, fatigue, and burnout? Great question. What do I tell people? Then you need to take a break. Take a break. First thing I tell people is this. I always ask this question. How do you sleep? 60 million Americans do not sleep well at night. You're burnt out. You're tired. Take a shower. Go to bed. You need sleep. When I hear people telling me, oh, I'm crushing it, man, I'm an alpha, take no prisoners, 18 hours a day, man, 7 days a week. You know what? Only person you're fooling is yourself. You're a human being. Your body can only take so much before that S on your chest, Superman or Superwoman, is not going to last. You got to take time for yourself. So if you're burnt out, you're tired, take a long weekend, just chill out. And whatever chilling out might be, go to a museum, go to a couple of ball games, watch some TV, get outside. I like to do things on a physical level. Go places, go to a concert, go, check this out, go check that out. But go do something, have an experience that's not work related. So you give your mind and your body a chance to heal. Even athletes, man, they say this. You can't work out 7 days a week. If you do, you're going to hurt yourself. They'll tell you to do different things, different muscle groups. The smart ones, I didn't know that when I was growing up. I thought, oh, you got every day, pound it out. I was stupid. I hurt myself. So even athletes today are taught, take a day off, take a meal off, because you can't, the body needs time to relax, and so does the mind. Hope that helps out. How do people with huge awarenesses of evil work in their day lives, like sex trafficking rings? If you're referring to someone like myself that's kind of worked with sex offenders, we've been around, things that on paper look repulsive, very difficult to watch, or listen to, or hear. I never personalize it. And I say 50 times a day, thank God I'm not in that situation. Grateful for what I have. So yeah, people who do that, they have to learn to separate, not to personalize, and be grateful for what they have, because it could be a lot worse. And people like saying things, they'll say things like, well, your life could be a lot worse. Your car is 5 years old. It should only be 2 years. I mean, that's stupid to me. I'm talking about real problems. And when I see people and I meet people that are like constantly suicidal, overdose, hate their lives, have been victims of sexual abuse, I feel empathy. And I just say, hey, man, I'm grateful it's not me. I'm going to do the best I can to rectify or help the situation. And then I move on, because there's a lot of pain out there. There's a lot of unhappiness in the world. So I do the best I can, and then I go home. I don't kick the cat. I don't punch my wife in the face. I don't snap on my kid. I don't drink 12 beers. I don't, eat 12 donuts. Can't do that stuff. You got to stay in stasis. You got to be predictable. How to make, hang on. Okay. Hope that answers that question. Octavius, how to make someone move on from their abusive past? Okay. Get them therapy. That's it. First step. Get them into therapy. Be supportive, be helpful, be there, but they need a therapist for that. If they've been through an abusive past, they need support. Probably not going to be something you can give them. Get them the right help that they need. That's it. Hope that helps. Really great. Thank you, Pierce. Appreciate it. Bonzies, you have experience where you were stuck in a job you hated or made you miserable? I feel like I'm stuck in that loop right now. It's how to fix the situation, just looking for someone to relate to. It did, sir. Now, okay, thank you, Dino. Okay, here's the thing. If you're stuck in a situation you don't like, write down what is it you want from your next job and start looking. You're in a job now you don't like. That's fine. No problem. But put down what are you looking for in your next job and start hustling. You got a paycheck coming in, but use your time wisely to figure out what it is that you want to do. Start looking for a mentor who can give you advice on how to look for a better situation. Mentor, start looking. Work, polish your resume. Go to trade shows are not happening because of COVID, but go to things online, Zoom online. There's a million programs that can talk to you about what you need to do to take the next step. You need to take certain classes in your field, coding, artificial intelligence, language, a certain, competency from your own industry. What do you need to do to get ahead? Don't wallow in it. Tonight, write down what you want to do to get successful, what help you need in that. Find a mentor and find out what programs you need, what classes you need to go to the next level. Hope that helps. Let us know if that works. How do you deal with a lack of motivation, especially in a lockdown? Okay, simple question. It's great because it's affecting tens of millions of people. Where do you want to be when the lockdown comes to an end? When everyone is vaccinated, whether they want to or not, blah, 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 blah. When hospitals aren't filled with very, very sick people, we're not having 2,000 dead a day in the United States. When it comes to an end, because everything comes to an end. The Black Plague came to an end. Influenza epidemic came to an end. Cholera came to an end. So when it comes to an end, where are you going to be? What do you want to have happen? What are you doing now? Where do you want to be in 2 years? I've talked with my agent / producer where I want to be in 2 years. I know where I want to be in 2 years. I want to be a lot bigger. I want the site to monetize. I want to reach millions more people around the world. I know where I want to be. Where do you want to be once this is over? You can wallow in your couch, and just, check out reruns on Netflix and binge. I get it. Be on TikTok a lot, do one of the 800,000 challenges they give you. But where do you really want to be in 2 years? Because I know where I want to be because I don't got much time left. I'm 58, for God's sakes. I got 12 years left of me of hard work. At 70, 75, I'm not going to be the man I once was, and I'm not stupid about that. I'm hoping my health even lasts that long. Just a question I want to ask you, Casamanis, how old are you? Casamanis, how old are you? I'm just curious. Shoot me your age, not to make fun, not to talk down to you, but put things in perspective. So let me know how old you are. That's what I want you guys to understand. Take every opportunity when you're young to make it happen. And again, we're coming to the end. Oh, man, 20? You got your whole life ahead of you. You got your whole life ahead of you. Man, what I wouldn't kill to be 20 years old again. I'm 58, 2 more. Yeah, I'm 60 in like a year and a half. I would kill if I could walk into, well, there's no more phone booths. But if I could walk in like, science fiction and walk out in a park near my house in Brooklyn, there actually are parks in Brooklyn. It makes it hard to believe. And I could walk out at 20, but what I know at 58, I get on my knees and I'd pray to every God for a couple of hours. Probably haul me off to a psych hospital. But is that my hair? What? What? I'm not wearing glasses? What? It's odd. My knees aren't cracking? What? It's weird. You got your whole life ahead of you. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What do you want to accomplish? You're locked in? You're really not. You're locked in with your mind. Now's the time to get things done, because when it's over, everything comes to an end. We see that in life. Are you going to be prepared to take the bull by its horns? You're 20. You got so much going for you. What do you need to get ahead? Do you need a mentor? Do you need classwork? Do you need to make extra money? Are there opportunities that you can get involved in? Can you add letters after your name? Is there a girl you're interested in, a guy, whatever you're into? That's what I want you to think about. What do you need to do to get ahead? To separate yourself from the pack that's sitting in their house doing nothing? That's what I want to know. We didn't miss a beat. Yeah, we had an epidemic, but I'm still making the videos. I'm still going to work. I'm still taking extra classes because I want to improve myself financially. I have no choice. You're 20, man. I'm envious of you. I hope you rock it. I hope you crush it. And do me a favor. Let us know how you do in the next 6 months, because I'm curious. Because this woman, she said some things here that are really helpful. And I want you guys to take these comments that she said, apply it to yourself, and say to me, hey, Bruce, this is a lot of insight. The same way next week when I do the first of 3 on what goes into an assessment, people are going to go like, man, I didn't know you'd ask these kinds of questions in therapy. I didn't know this guy looks for these kinds of things in therapy. I want to join the live streams now. I want to join the trainings from now on, because what I'm getting for $10 just blew me away. That's what I want to see happen. And then, Canis Manis, I want you to get back to us. And I want you to say, man, this guy, lit a candle for me and gave me a direction. You're in the darkness? Don't worry about it. Where do you want to go? Thanks, man. Really helps everything. Yeah. Man, if I could go back to Brooklyn when I was 20, oh God, I made so many mistakes in my life that I would do things so differently. Not to say that I wouldn't have problems there too, but at least I would have had a better direction where I was going. I was lost. I was clueless. Find someone you can talk to. Put things down on, well, you guys don't do pen and paper anymore. Put things down on a laptop, on an iPad, and what direction, and get going. And please let us know in 6 months how you're doing. I'd like to know. Shoot us an email. 3 months. Where are you at? No problem. And again, ask the comments, ask the questions. Okay, Bonzies, what do you think of children, adults that don't fit in the way school and work is structured? I always felt that I was directly clashing with things. Most people seem to have no problem doing it all. Okay, so find out what works for you. Maybe conventional school is not the answer. That's fine. There's a million programs today. I mean, I live in Las Vegas, and the school district gets a lot of justified raps for being terrible. I'm not going to argue. But they have programs to try and help kids find their niche. So if it's not working for you in high school, then see an alternative. If you're in college, where you're at a job, you're in a trade school, see what works for you. Today, people are much more forgiving and much more open to try new things with education. So don't be afraid. Get yourself checked out. See if you have any kind of learning disorders. If there's anything that's holding you back, get the help that you need if, and then move forward. Why not? There's a place for everybody out there. Trust me. Hope that helps. For me, I see school as a formative wing of something sort of sinister. Nah, don't. See it as a way to give you opportunities and openings to open up your mind and see new things. Be open-minded. Now's the time to take advantage of that. Whether you're in high school, a lot of our people who write in or send in stuff are in high school, we found out. Open up your mind. Try a sport. Try an activity. Join the school newspaper. Join the track team. Be on Sadie Hawkins' dance committee. Be on the prom committee. Join wrestling. Be an announcer. Be a cheerleader. Try something different. Try a different class. Try different things. I wish I would have done more. I did a lot of that. I wish I would have done more of that growing up. Take chances now. Don't overthink things. Just go make it happen. Okay. I want to share something else that this person said. Most children speak the honest truth. Listen to them. Yeah. When a kid says something to you, pretty much until they learn how to lie effectively, which turns into teenage years, they're being honest. I went into hundreds of homes when I would do home visits, and I'd be talking to kids sometimes 10 years old, 7 years old, 13 years old, parents lying right to my face, and the kids telling me the truth. White, black, brown, yellow, man, it didn't make a difference. Kids were honest. Parents were lying to my face, and the kids would tell me the truth, what really was going on. Parents like, shh, don't say anything, be quiet. Yeah, be quiet because the kid dimed you out as, being a liar. So, yeah, I get it. So kids, respect them, that they're honest, that they're going to tell you the truth. Okay, listen to them. Any parents that are listening to you, have kids, respect what your kids have to say, and then go defend them and be there for them. Okay, next. Money is not everything. Okay, comment. Oh, I'm sorry. Not all parents are out for your best interest. And, they're not. They're not. Not all parents are out for your best interest. There you go. I had that in my own life. You think. Not all parents are, because they have issues. I mean, they're your parents. They gave birth to you. But not all parents have what it takes to be successful. And again, last few comments, shoot them in. We're almost done. I want to go through everything tonight, but ask these questions now. The best comments, the 5 best group of comments that we get, we'll get the code for next week's training on understanding what goes on in an assessment. So not all parents are out for your best interest. Unfortunately, That's life. You got to protect yourself financially. You got to protect yourself emotionally, sexually, mentally, clinically. Not all parents, unfortunately, are what they should have been. Next one. Money is not everything. More important is a friend with more substance. All right, common sense. We know that money is not everything. A friend who's there for you pays dividends. We get it. Money is not everything. Money is valuable, of course, but it's not the end all be all. Here's another one, and I've learned this myself. Be nice to people in the service industry. Most aren't. They truly work hard and rely on your generosity and kindness. People that serve you, people that get you things, people that are valets, waitresses, waiters, bartenders, people that do your dry cleaning, people that clean up after you. Show them courtesy and respect, because many people don't. They work hard for their money. They work hard for their tips. Show some kindness. This is Vegas, so everything is service industry related. And if I'm out there and if I'm out, I try and reciprocate by treating people nicely who work in the service industry. They work very, very, very hard. Okay. Probably she worked in the service industry herself. Okay. Here's another one. Racism is learned and doesn't have to be. People can absolutely find anything to be racist about for no good reason. Yeah, it's learned. Yeah. You don't have kids brought up to say, like, genetically, I hate black people. I hate Jews. I hate Christians. I hate short people. I hate fat people. I hate people who are mentally challenged. No. Racism and hatred, specifically racism, is learned, does not have to be. People are absolutely can absolutely find anything to be racist about for no good reason. It's learned. Don't ever say, this is how I was brought up. You learn this. You learn this from people who are just inherently racist. Now, racist can be anybody. Believe me, I see it all the time. Any religion, any ethnicity, any group, racist hatred for no good reason, because it's learned. Okay, coming to the end. What do you think of interactions between psychiatrists and the testimony of children in traumatic cases? You're hoping to get a psychiatrist that's going to be balanced and nuanced. I've been in a lot of jury trials where I had to testify, and I always came across with, here's the truth, here's what I know, I'm being honest about it. Sometimes people get paid, and they're homers, and guess what? The lawyers know that, the judges know that. It's when your testimony is the truth, people realize that. So with psychiatrists, I've worked with a lot of them. Some are very, very good. Some are not so good. So if they're testifying in a case and they're getting paid, by the prosecution or by defense, of course they're going to say what they're getting paid for. I didn't like doing that stuff. I like to just be honest. Here's my clinical opinion. Here's where I'm at. Hope that answers that question. There's a concept in Buddhism that says nobody's fundamentally motivated to hurt another. Yeah, we learn that. And that Buddhism has a lot of great beliefs in it, but how to treat other people with respect. That's the ultimate goal. Treat other people with respect. That's a tenet of Judaism. Like, someone came to these two rabbis and said to one of them, teach me the whole, Jewish religion when I'm standing on one foot. And the guy got pushed, get out of here, loser, whatever. Went to the other rabbi who said, treat everybody with respect. Treat everybody the way you want to be treated. The rest is commentary. That's it. Yeah. And that's what religion is supposed to teach us. But Buddhism has a lot of great aspects to it that you can really internalize and make you a better person. Do you have any thoughts on fatherless young men, how they are affected by and how to combat the negative aspects of it? Bonzies, let me tell you something. Probably the next month or so, 2 months, we're going to have a training about fatherhood. You just said exactly what I talked about with my agent last night. We're going to have a show just for people to talk about being fathers and how to be a better father. I could talk about that topic for like about 12 hours, but I'll tell you this. It hurts if you don't have a father in your life. It hurts. And how they're affected by it in multiple ways, from education to sexuality to self-confidence to self-esteem, how they grow up, how they perceive things around them. and how to combat the negative aspects of it. If you're an absent father, stop being absent. Be involved. Be involved in your kid's life. Don't just come around every couple of weeks, a couple of dollars here, a couple of dollars there. Be active. Be active in your kid's life. They need you. I could go on for about 12 years, but I need, way more time. But that's just a rough answer. But we're going to have an actual training on it, talking about what it means to be a better father, better husband, better man. And I want you to tune into it when we have that. I want to see your name pop up. So yes, huge issue. Okay. And finally, if people showed a little more kindness, patience, and understanding and were less selfish, more than half my list would be gone. Yeah, kindness, patience, and understanding, and were less selfish. Be a good person. That's it. Just be a good person. Be the person you were meant to be. That's it. Show kindness. Pick up litter. Help someone who's hurting. Be a real friend. Don't just be a zombie at work. Make a difference. Volunteer. Join a cause. Be active in your community. If you see something's wrong, stand up. Don't be a hater. Be a solver. Be a better person than you saw where you came from. Be a better person. That's it. Okay, that's some good questions. How do you deal with a negative parent that wants to be in your life? Very simple. If they're negative, you gotta put limits on it. I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. I'm not going to be around negativity anymore. I'll talk to you for 5 to 6. After 6 o'clock, I'm done. If you're going to be negative, you got to put limits of time and of what you put into the relationship. You don't want to be. Let them know that. Hey, I love you. I can't be around your negativity and your anger. Bonzi's, the roots go deep and they choke the tree, it feels like. Of course they do. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I grew up with a single mom in a low-income household. My mom made about $20K a year. I still think about how it affects me. Identify it some ways, but I can never realize all. The roots, 100%. 100%. And I've dealt with this about thousands of times in my clinical profession. Yeah, everything you're saying is so dead on. Yes, the loss of a father, not having a father in your life, and a single mom trying to be a father. I've only dealt with that hundreds of times. It's devastating. It's painful. It's huge. Yes, yes, yes. And I'll share more with you when I do that training. But yes, it's a devastating thing, and you got to learn to say to yourself, I want to be better than what I saw. I don't know if you're a father yourself, if you're a husband, you're going to have children, you have kids already, but say to yourself, I don't want to be what I saw. I want to be better. Hope that helps. Okay, we're going to announce now our 5 winners, and here we go. So first, send us an email at sunridgeofnevada@gmail.com. Send you one free access to the training, and we'll get back to you with the link. First winner, and it's in no particular order, Octavanius Sergio ERBO. Octavanius Sergio ERBO. Number 2 is Dino, Deino. Number 3, Bonzies. Okay. Number 4, Adonish P. And number 5, Canis Manus. So I'm going to say it one more time again. We'll go read everything over one last time. Send us an email, the winners, at sunridgeofnevada@gmail.com, saying you want free access to the training. We will get back to you with the link. The winners, number 1, Octavanius Sergio ERBO. Number 2, Dino, Dino. Number 3, Bonzies. Double EZ. Okay, number 4, Adonish P. And number 5, Canis Manus. Okay. So congratulations to the winners. Of course, anyone else that would like to sign up for the training, it is $10 via PayPal. And we also take crypto. Of course, we want people to sign up for the training. Appreciate everybody that reached out tonight and shared their comments with us. Some really, really good ones. And we're looking forward to next week's training and understanding a mental health assessment. Tell your friends if they want to listen, if they want to have a group listen, that's also fine. But the information is going to be incredibly valuable next week on the 30th, 5:30 West Coast time. We got one more question. Daniel, thank you, sir. And no problem, Dino. Good luck with everything. Thanks for all the comments you made tonight. Everybody, thank you tonight. Bruce Muffs and LCSW, Sunridge of Nevada. Thank you again.